G'day guys, the Aussie Share Trader here. It is the last day of October 31st, Halloween. What a cracking month it's been. Hasn't October been a good month for share trading? I hope you've all done well. It just seems the market's been up nearly every day that I look, and I don't follow the indices that closely. It doesn't really make much difference to how I'm going, but pretty much every time I've looked at the ASX 200, it's been up. So it does make things a bit easier when you're trading long and the market's going up in general. It does generally make things a little easier to find. So yeah, hopefully you've had a good month. I had a really solid month this month after losing a bit last month, so it's good to come back with making a bit of coin. Okay, so we're going to start now. Actually, just go back. I was going to make this video look a lot more professional, but to be honest, I just haven't had the time. I've downloaded some software to edit and all that sort of stuff, but I spent more time on the actual shares themselves than worrying about how pretty it looks. So next month I'll make my trading shares that I am, what do I call this? Trading ideas video. I'll make this look a lot better for the at the end of November. Anyway, just going back to look at the 3 shares I spoke about last month, how they did, and then I'll leap into the ones for this month. So the first one last month was HSN, Hansen Technologies. They were $3.31 on the last day of last month. They're $3.36 now, so they haven't done a lot, up a couple of percent, not quite. But they did spike during the month. They hit $3.51, so they sort of did get tradable. I'm in these a little bit less, around $3.20, and I nearly sold them. I was looking for around $3.55 and they didn't get there, so I'm still in these ones. No reason to sell, I wouldn't think. If you are in these ones, they're still doing what they should be doing, and hopefully within the next month we can get closer to the 360 mark and maybe dump these babies and move on. But yeah, not so good, not so bad, Hansen. The second one was Downer EDI. Last month, on the last day of the month, they were $6.78. They hit $7.11 during the month, $6.97 today. Probably not enough in there for them to be tradable during the month. Again, they got close for me. I was in around $6.50 on these. They got close. I didn't dump them, so I'm still in on these ones. And the last one was Main Farmer MYX. They were 66 cents and they were definitely tradable. They hit 75 during the month, back now to about 69.5. Again, I didn't sell. I was looking for more out of these. I mean, you could have made 13% on these. They're just one I was hoping for a bit more, so I'm still in these as well. So as good as the month was, I've still I didn't do a lot of trading as such. A lot of the positions that I had open at the start of the month, I've still got open now, so they haven't quite hit my sell at this point. But overall, yeah, not too bad. They're all up at least. Didn't have any disasters, and I think the 3 of them have still got a fair bit of potential to hit the mark over the next few weeks. So that is the end of that, and now let's move on to the 3 shares for this month. Okay, the first one is EPW, and the name is ERM Power is the company name. Sitting today at $1.32 when I last looked. I like them around this level. If you can get to around $1.30, I'll be happy enough to buy there. I don't own these yet, by the way. Now, EPW, they are a power provider. They've got plants mainly in Australia, but in the US and a few other countries as well, I think. As you know, I mean, if you read any sort of news, you know that the energy market in Australia at the moment is in a debacle. And it's not just the current government's fault. It's been successive governments that probably all the way back to the Howard era, where the infrastructure wasn't put in place to meet demand. One thing about power, electricity, the demand is not going away. It's only going to increase for the foreseeable future anyway. So the market is there, It's just the market's a bit of a mess. And at the moment, I think businesses like EPW are cheap. Now, this is one that I've traded in the past. It is a tradable stock. They're not the easiest to understand, these types of companies. It takes a little bit more investigation to work out exactly what's going on with these companies. But I've been following this company for a while. I like them around this price. I've traded them in the past, and I'm happy enough with them at around the $1.30 mark. So have a look at them. As I always say, do your own research. Don't just jump in and buy these. Make sure you're happy with everything. But definitely one to put on your watch list and contemplate in November. Okay, now the second one. Don't laugh, but it is ISD, Icentric Group. Now, I say don't laugh because this company is like a comedy show. The management, I don't know what the hell. They could make a movie out of this, how to turn a perfectly good company into shit, because they've just made bad decision after bad decision, this company, and basically flushed $50 million down the toilet. So you may be wondering why I would even be talking about these. They've got a pretty good business. At the end of it, the business is okay. The management has just been shocking. And this is not the type of business that I would be interested in long term. But as a trading proposition, I think there's potential there for a pretty sharp reversal on a share like this. They do have their fans. Having said all that about Icentric Group, you have to be really careful, because this also could be a company that won't be around in 2 years' time. That they could just blow it all up. So when I come across a company like this that I'm prepared to take a risk on, and they are a risky company to be putting money into, I always tread very carefully. So where I might put in, as a general rule for me, I'll put in 7% of my capital into a stock. Something like this, I'll ease into it with maybe a third of that 7%, so around 2.5%, somewhere around there. Just ease into a share like this, knowing full well that I could lose it, but also knowing full well that these types of little businesses can turn around pretty quick. They've made some pretty big mistakes. Hopefully they've learnt from them, and the market can be quite forgiving of these little businesses. The business itself, what do we call it? They're a media monitoring sort of service. The service itself is needed, so there's definitely a market there for it. They're a market leader in it. So overall, I like them. They're cheap at the moment, I think, at $1. And just have a look at them. Again, do your own research. These ones are a little riskier, so just be careful with these ones. But ISD, Icentric Group, maybe a good trade over the next month or two. Okay, so just when you thought I'd gone mad with Icentric, number 3 is FMG. I'm liking Fortescue Minerals again, or Fortescue Metals, is it? I think. FMG anyway. Look, the iron ore price has just been getting hammered the last few months, back down below $60 I see today. It's not going to go much lower than that. I don't think. Every time the iron ore price drops, it's concerns on China. And how many concerns have you had on China in the last 10 years? This must be about 150th, I think, concern about China. China's got generations to go. Don't worry about China. It's going fine. Now, so yeah, FMG, $4.70 today. To me, that's a screaming bargain. It's not just one that I'll look to trade. This is one I'll look to hold actually for maybe the next 3 to 4 years. I think overall, actually I'm going to do another video in the next few days talking about what I'm predicting for the year 2020. I'm actually seeing some real positive signs in the economy at the moment, and I'll make some pretty bold predictions in the next video. Anyway, yeah, FMG, look, to me it's a lay down misere. Do your own research, of course, and make sure it fits your criteria. But at $4.70, I can see plenty of upside to FMG over the next couple of months. Okay, so that's it for this month. So the three shares were EPW, Essentia Group, ISD, and FMG. We'll follow them for the next month, see how they go. Next month, I'm not going to be in the country for the last trading day of the year. I'll be somewhere else, so I'll still endeavour to do a video. I won't tell you where I'll be. I'll let you see if you can guess when I do the next video. If I don't get it done while I'm away, I'll do it early in December. December, obviously, traditionally a fairly quiet month anyway, so not a lot of trading opportunities generally present in December. So it's not a bad month to just have off anyway. But I'll still do a video then and see how we go. So that's it. One last thing I'll mention. Had a pretty tough weekend. Can I do this? Just gone.